Hello, Gemini. I'm Empress Rose, and this is your reading. It's a very general reading. You can check your other major placements to find other little tidbits that you can help you see your life and see what's going on in it and understand it better. But of course, this is a general reading, so take what works for you, leave what doesn't, as with every little thing in life. So all these cards are pre-shuffled and prepared before I start the camera. It's a long, boring process. I don't think you want to watch it. And I also feel really private about it. It's just like between me and the universe. All right, so what's our message for Gemini today? What do we have to say? What's our message for our friends, Gemini friends? All right, okay, we'll take 4. Makes the reading a little long, but I think we can do it. Oh, wow. We just got a mermaid over in the Taurus thing. A different mermaid. We got an immature mermaid. This is a lovely card. There aren't very many men in this deck, but this is a mermaid's love. This is a deep, deep love. Yeah. This is a, you know, mermaids, they drag the men down and drown them. So I'm not 100% sure I'm into mermaid's love, but the card looks really lovely. The card is really talking about this beautiful emotional togetherness, this meeting of the minds. We do have a bird here, so we have an idea on our mind, a message on our mind. We have wings. So even though he's a ground animal, he can fly away. So he's got his own abilities and his own bit of magic. And this top hat is also reminding me of a bit of a magician. And I think this mermaid truly loves him. She's not very focused on him right now. She's a little bit focused on something else. And he's not talking. He's not saying the things he needs to say. He's thinking them, but he's not talking about them. Let's see what else we've got. A long way home. So this is, you've pulled up anchor and you're moving. You're moving forward someplace. So someone sort of in the distant in front of you, you might have a little bit of a caravan vibe here. Oh, this is reminds me of a song about a caravan of love and being part of a community of love. We're each on our own journey, but there's others on it with us. This one has 2 birds on it that are with you. So 2, I wonder if these are like angel vibes or messages, ideas. They're really elevating you. You have this like this love that's elevating you, this idea that's elevating you. And here we have an elephant up there, which I think is just wonderful. That elephant must be freaking out a little bit, but this is some elevation. It's not a quick movement and you're not in control of it. There's some divine control here over this movement. So maybe you've picked up anchor. Something in your life is moving. Something in your life, you've made a decision that you want something in your life to move. So the thing you're in control of was picking up anchor. The thing you're not in control of is the wind, is anything like that. And right now it's just the beginning stages. It's a little bit stagnant. You've got a friend that's a little bit further beyond here. I feel like there's other balloons all around here that we can't see. So you're part of a community of people that have like pulled up, and you're waiting for the wind to take you. You're waiting for the things that you can't control to come in. Right now they're not coming in, but they will, of course, because you are up in the air. You are up. You have access to the element of wind and air. So when it does choose to move you, it will move you because you are no longer anchored. So and then we have this weaving of flowers, and this is an intuitive guidance. So maybe your intuition told you to pull up anchor, and this is an intuitive guidance. You cannot see where you're going. There's some passion here, and you're putting something together, maybe a new life or a new situation together, but you're doing it just by feel, just by how it feels. You're not seeing, you don't have plans. But this is amazing. There's all sorts of strings here. There's all sorts of connections to something divine, some elevated thing that is outside of our grasp, that is its own thing, that's lifting us up and pulling us up. And this way, it's bringing us these things that we're making our new life with. And in this one, it's pulling us up into the element where the divine, the messages can come in, and the divine energy can move through us. We've gone up into the element of air, and we're waiting for the things we can't control. What we're doing with the things we can't control, we're being gifted these petals from above, these sort of little individual snippets, little individual things, and we're weaving it all together, but we don't even know where we're going with this. We can't see. We just know that we're feeling our way forward bit by bit, piece by piece. And through this process, we're blooming. Our mind is blooming. There's a listening element here. I think we're really listening for these divine messages. And our mind is really expanding and growing and opening. There's a limitlessness to what's going on in our minds and our spirituality, and it's causing massive amounts of growth. We haven't allowed ourselves to be limited by what is. We are allowing our mind to, or the message is to allow your mind to expand beyond the borders of your body. So I see a lot of like lifting off here and allowing growth to happen beyond what is obvious to you and beyond what you can see and beyond what others can see. There's a lot of intuition is leading to a lot of growth and a lot of learning and a lot of like really expanding your mind is what I'm seeing here, is like expanding your mind, expanding your spirituality in some sort of faith. There's some sort of faith that you have that if you just keep going with these little bit by bit pieces, it's really going to expand and grow. And you've made the choice to go down this path, or you're choosing to go down this path. So this mermaid's love, I'm not sure where we're going with that one yet, but the rest of these all kind of come together with a situation. But maybe this is like your relationship with some sort of deep emotional situation, and you're negotiating with that, and you're trying to hold, maybe you've been coming from an energy where you were trying to hold something that cannot be held. The self-destructive love, and then you've anchored up from that, because this guy's got wings. He belongs in this air element that I'm seeing all throughout the rest of this card. This communication, this spirituality, he belongs there. She's deeply emotional, and maybe there's you're listening to your deep emotions, you're paying attention to your deep emotions, and you don't want to have them drag you down though, but you're holding your peace. There's a lot you're not saying right now. Okay, let's move to the Santa Muerte deck for the main body of the reading. What do we have for Gemini this week? Okay, dear Gemini, this is your past. Whoop. This is your past. This is your present. This is your inner landscape. This is an issue. This is your environment. This is your to-do list, and this is a possible outcome. All right. So in your recent past, we have this, I do believe this anchors away card, this Three of Pentacles. You have everything you need to grow these little mind flowers, your intuition, this is the farming vibe, and you're at the beginning of these stages. They've just sprouted out of the earth. You have everything you need. You have water, you have soil, a deep, rich soil. You have sunshine, and you have your hard work. So I guess it's really 4 elements we're bringing together here. And you have the magic that causes the seed to open and to grow. So I feel like you have planted something, and you've been doing the work to bring that thing forward. It takes a lot of faith though to water those seeds before you see them grow. And I feel like that's what we've got here. It takes a lot of faith to pull up anchor, not knowing exactly where the wind is going to take you. And you've started to see some growth here of this thing that in real life. It's a real thing. It's not just ideas. I mean, the rest of this seems like ideas, but this is like a job, an actual relationship, a home, something like that, where it's time for it to, you've had this idea, you planted the idea, and now you're really taking care to help it grow. And give not just an idea, but an idea for something in real life. And because the real things like our money, our bank accounts, the ideas to grow them are ideas about reality. They're still ideas though, but they're ideas about how we can bring something into reality. So you're working on that. At the present moment, we have this Sun card. This is joy, fulfillment, absolute joy. We've got musicians here playing guitars. There's a pair, there's partnership, there's a bluebird singing. The sunflowers are tall and communing with the sun up here. It's a very elevated card. I feel like it just has a lot of joy, a lot of celebration. So that may be going on in your present moment. At least I really hope it is, this clarity, the joy of clarity. Sometimes I think that heaven is like going to be this place where we understand everything. And so this might be a place where you are understanding quite a bit more than you have before. And you're seeing things with a lot of clarity, and it's very peaceful. It's very happy. In your inner landscape, we have the Fool. And I believe this again is this Anchors Away card. We have this Fool. He's leaving a graveyard. He's following a butterfly, a symbol of transformation. He didn't pack very well. Look, he's got his guitar too. Are there other guitars here? No, but we have the musicians again later, so that's pretty cool. So he's packed his guitars into his little heart-filled case, and he is taking the first steps. Not very concerned about, he does not have all his ducks in a row. His suitcase is very poorly packed, but this is this really beautiful level 0 energy of we're going on a trip, we're going on a journey, we're either, in real life, but probably not, or just in your mind, is you have an idea, you have an inspiration, you're willing to go for it and do it. And it's going to lead you out of this, a little bit of a dark place with some dark memories and some loss. It's leading you forward into, oh look, there's these cute little sugar skulls. So you've been honoring your ancestors, and I think they've given you a vision or an idea. And I think that's what's going on with here, is this vision and idea where you don't necessarily know where it's going. So that's going on inside of you. You haven't talked about it yet. That's why we've got the bird and the top hat. It's just an idea. We haven't really started making concrete plans. It's not showing up. It's just beginning to show up in our reality. But this is inside you. You're starting to have an idea, a vision, and you're really enthusiastic about moving forward with it. You're ready to pull up anchor. You're ready to start weaving these flowers. You're ready to start blooming. At issue is the Temperance card. So in this placement, we take it in its reversal, and this is not intemperance. So this is a situation in which you're not really balancing things out very well, or something's out of balance, and not even trying to get into balance. It's just like we have this hot, we have this cold, and neither of them are comfortable. Neither situation is comfortable. We have a desert, we have a jungle. Neither situation is comfortable. One's too humid, one's too dry, and the Temperance card would be bringing them together to make this nice temperate climate that we would all enjoy, but that's not happening. There's not a combining of visions, a combining of, there's a lot of intemperance going on, so a lot of like extreme emotions that aren't being tempered. So maybe this Fool card is causing us to be a little extreme. So there's something extreme going on that should be being sort of tempered with some other ideas and being calmed down. I'm seeing a little bit in this card too, the water and the air, and This is saying they're not combining properly. These two elements you're working with aren't being combined properly, but volatile. So there's some volatility here, and some extremes, and some extreme stances, extreme ideas, extreme actions that aren't helpful to your situation. In your environment, you have the Devil card. So in this Santa Muerte deck, the Devil card is inspiration. It's the things that drive us forward. It's these strings, these sort of divine strings that pull us. And when it's in the reverse, they're yanking us around and controlling us. But in the upright, this is inspiration, this is intuition that we're following, and it's causing us to make some music. It's causing us to, I'm seeing just these guys with their guitars in this bright sunny day. There's an inspiration here that's causing this to happen, causing this little two-man band to move forward. It's the same guys, they're wearing the same outfits, they have the same guitars. So this is your present, in your present situation, they're singing, dancing, they got a little duet going on here. A little duet going on here. And here they are back again doing another duet. And in your environment, there's something that's causing, there's something that's pulling at you, something that's drawing you up, drawing you forward, drawing you out. There's strings, and that's what I was saying about these two cards from the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck. Is all these strings, all these things, this divine pull on you to express yourself through music, but it's external. There's some sort of external thing going on in your life that's pulling you, and asking you to bring these, possibly even demanding that you bring your artistic gifts forward. Even though you don't know where it's going, these things are coming to you, and these things are pulling you towards you. So there's something very real, very in your environment that's causing you to look more closely at your artistic endeavors and the things that draw you internally. It's asking you to draw those forward and draw those out, and to trust your creative process, because you don't seem to understand exactly why you're doing what you're doing. And this is saying because it's forces outside you, and it's a passion that's being given to you, that's pulling you. So this is your to-do list. This is the High Priestess. So this is really, again, getting in touch with your intuition, with this deeper self. And maybe that's what this mermaid's doing. She's going to pull him down into his deeper self, into a more emotional situation, just for a while, maybe until he can talk, until he can say the things on his mind. So your to-do list is to really learn about things, to really get in touch with your intuition, to at least try to see in the dark. And this High Priestess can be a guide that maybe you can look at, to a book that you maybe need to read. There's some really wonderful, amazing self-help books out there. I especially love Martha Beck. She's got some great books on getting in touch with yourself and with your journey. And we have this message, we have this bird again up here, this thing that's on your mind. This High Priestess has been through some painful experiences, and she's turned it into a crown that she wears, or she's turned it into a throne. She's sitting on a throne here. And we have the crescent moon, which is representing not a bright light, like not this sunshine that you have, but this darkness, a darkness that you need to go into and reflect on and deal with and try to understand this. Maybe this is two parts of you, and this is this dark depth part, and you need to try to understand it, to hold the hand of your inner darkness, your shadow self. And this is definitely working with, the darker parts of ourself, and we're really working in the dark. So that's what it's asking you to do, is to maybe you want to be in the sunshine playing your music, but this is asking you to go into the darker part and to reflect on it, and to reflect maybe some of the darker times you've been through, to think about, to reflect on those and to pull what you can and the wisdom you can out of those situations, out of the darkness that these seeds sprouted from. So it's a really, I want to say fecund darkness. It's just got this, that it wants you to go into. There's a richness there, and you need to go and draw some nutrients from it so that you can bloom, and it's going to help you bloom. And a possible outcome could be this Eight of Swords. So this is a lot of communication. This is a dark storm. So maybe that's why you need to go into this. Maybe, you know, you have pulled up anchor and there's a little bit of a dark storm ahead, and you need to be, one, enjoying the sunshine in your life right now, and two, really getting in touch with your intuition and with some of the, so this is some very unpleasant, stormy communication truths that are going to come out that aren't pleasant, aren't good. These swords are coming for your mind, and you're facing them head on. But what are they fighting against? They're fighting against like a cloud and like weather, and like, what's the point of that? It's weather. You don't go, you know, brandishing your sword at just the weather, but it is this unpleasant storm, and maybe there's a sense of you're gonna try to protect yourself, and maybe this community of people of other balloons that have taken up with you, maybe they're gonna help you protect yourself, because I see sort of an army here, and maybe this storm is gonna be in your mind, and you're gonna need some help dealing with some of these darker things that you're going to need an army to help you battle some of the things that you might find in this darker place. So get a support system in place as you move forward. And this is just one of the possible outcomes. And this is, you know, if you do follow this advice to go within and look at some of the darker parts of your life and darker parts of your psyche, you may need some help. Like she's reading a book. So you may need some help if you're going forward to deal with some of that stuff, because a lot of times we stuff things away in our subconscious, in our shadow self, so that, because we don't have the skills to deal with it. So we're like, okay, I don't know how to deal. Our brain kind of goes, our psyche kind of goes, okay, I literally don't know what to do with that pain. So I'm just going to stuff it back here. And so it can be really difficult. It's because we don't have the skills. So when we go seek out a therapy or self-help books or stuff like that, their main goal is to give us the skills to be able to deal with those dark things that we shoved back there and are profoundly affecting us, possibly even controlling us. And we just shoved it back there because we didn't know how to deal with it in a productive, healthy way. So maybe there is some needing to deal with some of the darkness in order for you to bloom. So, all right, Gemini, I hope that was helpful, and please do like, comment, and subscribe and help this little baby channel grow a bit week by week. And it's such a cute little baby channel right now. I love it. Anyway, as it grows, it'll be able to bring the messages to other people and more people. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week, Gemini.